If you're watching this video, you're someone who's interested in the subject of higher consciousness. And if you are interested in the subject, regardless of the path you're on, whether it's the path of religion, the path of yoga, meditation, philosophy, or even the fourth way of Gurdjieff, if you want to grow in higher consciousness, it's really important that you understand that there is a difference between knowledge, your state of being, and understanding. And it's only when you understand the relation and the difference between these three concepts that it truly helps you understand how you can make progress, or even where you're lacking as you try to reach a higher state of consciousness. I'll begin with the subject of knowledge because this is the easiest one to cover. Everyone understands what knowledge is. So when I think of knowledge, I might think of books. When you think of knowledge, you might think of the internet or of videos like this. But we can both agree that knowledge is medium. It's a material format. It could be in the form of words, it could be in the form of videos, but it is material. It's something that can be collected. It can be collected through books, through the internet, through your computer, or even in your memory, ultimately. However, for knowledge to be of use to you, it has to be transformed into your own personal understanding. One of the best examples I can offer that helps clearly illustrate the difference between knowledge and being is using the subject of death. So since the earliest times, people have contemplated what happens beyond death. And religions offer a different idea, spiritualists may offer a different idea, philosophers offer a different idea. But the truth is that regardless of the knowledge that's been given to us, it's until your physical state of being changes, that is, until the body dies and your physical state drops. And if some form of awareness remains, it's only at that point that you truly have an understanding of death. At that point, you're able to verify the knowledge that you've collected while you were alive, about what happens beyond death. Maybe then there's a possibility that it passes into understanding. And that's because of a change in your being. So the same is true for the subject of higher consciousness. If knowledge and being were the same thing, then the disciple of every great spiritual figure, every great religious figure, would have been as great or greater than their master. Because they had direct access to not only the words of the master, but the being of the master. Maybe they had the opportunity to ask them questions. So if they had the opportunity to absorb this knowledge at first hand, why didn't they become as great as their teachers? So clearly there is a difference between knowledge and being. Now it's possible for knowledge and your being to develop separately. And Gurdjieff suggests that if one develops more than the other, it gets stuck at whatever the lower of the two is. So for example, it's possible for people to collect vast amounts of knowledge on the subject of consciousness, of higher consciousness even. Especially today in 2023 when I'm making this video, it's really easy to get on the internet and look for any esoteric subject, things that would have been considered hidden knowledge in the past, how to project astrally, how to unlock your chakras. People speak very confidently on these subjects on the internet today. It's very easy to find this knowledge. But you have to question the people who possess this knowledge and who are speaking on this knowledge, do they have an understanding of it? Have they developed their state of being? Have they had experiences of their own wherein this knowledge has truly been passed into understanding? It has truly become knowledge that they own, that has become a part of them. It's really hard to know. And even if it was true, even if people did actually have an authentic understanding of some of the subjects on which they speak about, what use, what good is it for you, the listener? Because ultimately you're going to have to take this knowledge, including the things that I'm speaking about right now. You're going to have to take this knowledge and verify it for yourself. You're going to have to work on your state of being at the same time in order to transform this knowledge through experience into understanding. If someone collects knowledge alone, they become what Gurdjieff refers to as a weak yogi. And we are speaking primarily of knowledge as it relates to knowledge of higher consciousness or subjects related to higher consciousness. A person may develop along the philosophical line, along the intellectual line. They may even develop a very good intellectual understanding of the possibilities that are available as they work on themselves. But unless they raise their state of being, so unless they actually put in the work upon themselves, whether it's meditation, whether it's religious devotion, if you're on that path, or if it's self-observation and self-remembering, if you're on the fourth way of Gurdjieff, regardless of the path you're on, unless you work on your state of being, you can accumulate large amounts of knowledge on the subject of higher consciousness, but you will remain what Gurdjieff refers to as the weak yogi. That is, you have a certain amount of knowledge and possibly even an understanding of the possibilities available to you. But because your state of being hasn't been raised to the same level, you cannot do anything with this knowledge. The opposite is also true. Gurdjieff refers to the phenomenon where a person develops a higher state of being, but not the knowledge to know what to do, as the phenomenon of the stupid saint. This is an excellent example because it does seem to commonly occur along the religious or spiritual line. That is, a person through intense devotion, intense belief, intense faith, they develop a certain quality that allows them to do, particularly to bless. I mean, a saint can curse as well, but saints don't usually curse people. So they develop this ability to heal. They develop this ability to bless people, to do good things to people around them. And if you had to ask them, how are you doing this? They really wouldn't know, or they ascribe it to God, more likely. So they have developed a certain quality that gives them the ability to change reality to a certain degree around them. But they don't know how they're doing it. It remains a mystery to them for the most part. So they don't have the knowledge of what to do with this quality. That is, they are, as Gurdjieff says, a stupid saint. They have the ability to do something, but they don't know what to do. They become an immortal thing. Another example I can offer is meditation. So for those of you who have practiced any form of serious meditation, regardless of if it's some form of yogic meditation or vipassana or breath work, you will know that if you try to explain the subject of meditation to someone who's never practiced it before, it's really difficult to convey some of the practice to the person. You can explain to them that it affects your mental state or the state of your body or the state of your emotions, but unless the person who is trying to absorb this knowledge you're imparting to them, unless they put into practice meditation using their body and their mind and their emotions as well, unless they do it themselves, they wouldn't be able to absorb this knowledge. They wouldn't be able to transfer this knowledge into understanding. It's only when they put meditation into practice that a change occurs in their being. And the knowledge that you've transferred to them on how to meditate, it turns into understanding. It becomes a part of their being. Before I end this video, I wanted to offer another piece of very useful advice. So regardless of the path you're on, whether it's yoga, meditation, the fourth way, you're going to get stuck. It's definitely going to happen. You will plateau at a certain point and you will realize, I don't know where to go from here. It's really important at stages like this that you sincerely look within yourself and you ask yourself the question, am I stuck on the line of knowledge? That is, do I not have the right kind of knowledge to progress forward? Or am I stuck on the level of being? Is my being not growing as much as I hoped or wanted it to grow? And sincerity is really important at this point as well, because many people, they tend to fool themselves. They think that they have accumulated knowledge and they mistake it for understanding, or they mistake it for a higher state of being as well, when the two are not the same thing. So you have to be sincere with yourself. You have to sincerely consider the question, what do I need to do to grow further? If you aren't careful, you will mistake the knowledge that you've accumulated along the way for understanding. And this happens frequently. Go to any internet forum, even on the fourth way work, go to any internet forum, go to any discussion board, and you'll find people arguing about intricacies. They'll get into what Gurdjieff referred to as philosophizing, rather than focusing on their state of being and putting the practice of the work into work. Rather than working on themselves, people will often get caught up in discussions or in intellectual arguments. So it's very easy to get caught into this frame of mind where you mistake a philosophical understanding or even philosophical musings for true understanding and for a true growth in yourself, in your state of being. So in conclusion for this video, I hope you've understood that there is a difference between knowledge and your state of being. And for knowledge to truly be transformed into understanding, you need to raise your state of being as well as put that knowledge into practice through experience so that it passes into true, authentic personal understanding, after which it can lead to a transformation of your being and truly become knowledge that you possess. If you like what you've heard, if you like what you've seen, go ahead, like this video, subscribe, and check out my channel. I have other videos on the subject, particularly if you're someone who's interested in the fourth way, or just in general, if you're interested on the subject of higher consciousness, just like me. Go ahead, check out my channel. I have other videos on the subject, and I plan on making more videos. So whoever you are, thanks for watching this video, and good luck on the path.